jump right into it, and you tell our listeners what you guys do.
What day? I was at an event yesterday, and Station 2 is a co-work to incubation space. And yesterday I was in Orlando for the International Business Innovators Association, and in one of the classes for certification for people who work in the type of spaces that we have. And this one gentleman was talking about being the head of technology transfer at Indiana University and having all these companies and this huge multi-million-dollar facility. And the president of the university came in and said, Where's Mark Long? Where's the head of my technology transfer? And the receptionist said, He's on the roof cleaning the HEPA filters. So what do we do? It depends what day. It could be meeting with the company and talking about strategy. It could be helping somebody navigate some sort of technology problem. It could be that's the day we're pulling weeds out front and we said, what is our hourly rate? Why are we doing this?
And Sarah, I've known you for what, 6-7 years now. I think we met at the Yes Group.
Like in 2007 or something. It's long. See, gosh, it'll be like 8-9 years here pretty soon.
Right. So you recently partnered up with Stan Schultes. And Stan, what is it that you do? What capacity do you play in your business?
Well, as Sarah said, we do a lot of different things. I'm a technology person by training, by education and training. I've retired from my education career, have been running the Sarasota .NET Developers Group for like 12 years here locally. So I'm a community builder. It's something that's always been in my blood. I lived up in Corning, New York for a long time and started a developer group up there in this little tiny town. And finding speakers was really, really interesting. It's a lot easier to have people come to Paradise.
Right.
So I'm involved in really all parts of the operation we have. I'm manage the facility and do a lot of the operations maintenance. Putting programs together. Making sure the trash gets picked up, and everything that you have to do to run a business that people want to come to. Sarah's and I brains work very differently from one another, but we converge very nicely in the middle. It's all about understanding problems, finding solutions to those problems, and then figuring out the shortest path, the easiest way to come to a solution with the people who need the help.
Right.
And we come at that often from opposite directions. But sometimes it's very much a parallel path. It kind of depends on what's up.
When you say the people that need the help, who are those people?
Entrepreneurs for the most part.
Small business owners.
Yeah, early stage companies primarily. We don't work so much with people starting their business. What we do is we take people who have existing businesses and help them grow them in a sustainable way, helping teach them all the things that they need, from how to run the business side of your business to how to run sales and marketing to how to build a team and what you need to know if you're ever going to look for funding for investment. And thinking about exit strategy, because everyone will exit from their business eventually, whether they sell it or inherit it to somebody, or there's other paths that can happen too. So it's a whole variety of things.
Sure. Sarah Hand, tell us about Station 2. It's kind of an interesting building.
So Station 2 is a historic building. It was the town hall for the village of Manatee, and which was the end of the Cracker Trail. It was a happening place. And so cowboys, in Florida is where the American cowboy originated, and they drove the cattle up to the Manatee River here, and that also happened in Jacksonville. So it was a cow town, and they put the cattle on boats and they shipped them off, and you had a bunch of cowboys with money in their pocket. And at one time, this was the town hall. As you look at the historic buildings around us, there's a number of hotels and former ballrooms. And so we're in this really cool historic building. And what we do is we allow entrepreneurs to scale space like you can scale technology. Starting a technology company 10, 15 years ago was incredibly expensive. You had to bring in all your own servers, a whole host of things. Now, whether it's Amazon Web Services or some rack space type of solution, or even WordPress. WordPress has revolutionized
Right.
what a small business can do to start up. And so we do that with space. We don't have offices, but we have different types of spaces. So we have quiet workspaces, collaborative workspaces, a variety of different meeting rooms. So
Kitchens to hang out in.
kitchens to hang out in. So an entrepreneur starting a company can come in. They have a place to meet with people. They have a real address. I know you and I initially, I've been in a co-working space before. I can't meet at Starbucks.
Right.
Like Al was saying, I know too many people. It's really hard.
You can't concentrate.
Well, you'll be there, you're trying to have a meeting and people are like, "Hi, Sarah, how are you doing?" You have all these people that come up to you and it's really hard to focus. And then the truth is that people don't give you big checks at Starbucks.
Right.
So we give entrepreneurs an authenticity and a credibility. They have access to other cool people. And so that's just our general co-working. And then we're getting ready to launch our incubation programming. And what that does is that brings an actual system of access to information for entrepreneurs to help them grow and scale their businesses. We bring in, by partnering with other organizations, we bring in mentors who have particular expertises. We'll work around message, market, model, and money. We'll talk about creating repeatable, sustainable, scalable, transferable businesses. And for those companies that it makes sense, we'll help them have that discussion of, am I customer funded? Will I need to look for debt or equity funding? If so, what are the things that how will I need to prepare my business to do that? So at Station 2, this is a project for our company, Spark Growth. It has been to build out this facility and put together the programming and pieces there. So we have co-work, we have incubation programming that'll be launching, and then one of our most exciting things is our soft landing program. And soft landing is a program where we work with other organizations around the country and actually internationally. And so for a company who wants to come into our area to expand their business, because you don't have to uproot and relocate now. What we do is we help them connect the dots and fast track their business here. And, just this last week, I moved from the Sarasota area to the Bradenton area. And even for those of us who live here, the question is it Comcast, Verizon, or Bright House? Just finding out what internet service can be challenging. So we help a company move way beyond just figuring out what internet service to help them connect with the right vendors, the right partners.
So you're kind of a business concierge service.
And we've helped them fast track.
Okay.
And that's really important. We don't do everything ourselves, but our goal is to connect the dots. And so, and we host some community events, working with, we just did a big workshop for the Manatee Community Foundation for about 40 not-for-profits, helping them bring agile development, a process we work with out of Purdue called strategic doing. And our joke is there's a lot of strategic planning and not a lot of doing. So we work with the doing and the implementation process.
What if one of those companies that want to move here connect and then they want to move out? Do you also provide services for them if they want to move out of this area?
Absolutely. So if we have a company that's here, so let's say, Dave, you're coaching a company and they would like to expand into Canada. So our first goals were identifying geo targets. So our first country that we're working with in developing that pipeline is Canada, and we're working with the president and COO of the Canadian Association of Business Incubation. So working at a real senior level. Canada and Germany were our first two countries. And then we have multiple connections, whether it's Australia or the UK, a whole host of different countries. But then we also worked with industry sectors around the country. So yesterday I was talking to a gentleman from Oklahoma, talking about aerospace, advanced manufacturing. So if you have a company that comes to you and that you're working with and they want to expand their presence in the marketplace, let's say they want to, for some reason, they want to go to Australia. Then we would call some people that we know in Australia at a facility called ATP, and we would make those connections. They would go send however many representatives they want, maybe a scout ahead of time, land at ATP. They'd help them survey the marketplace, understand what the connections are, so that they could fast track in that area rather than having to figure it out on their own.
Okay. A while ago, you mentioned, I think it was 5 M's: message, market, money. What?
Message, market, money, and model.
Model. Okay. I'm talking with Sara Hand, and when we come back, and Stan Schultes, and when we come back, I'm going to ask them to take a deep dive into message, market, money, and model, and let's tear that apart. Don't go anywhere.